What's up guys, aarava here and welcome back to a brand new video on F1 22 where we are going to attempt to get fired from our team in career mode. That is our number one objective. Our character is even called Fire Me Please as his first and last name. So it's all set up, and to be honest, with a name like that and a character pose like that, to be honest, I'm actually quite surprised they've hired us in the first place. We look very Yano looks very questionable here. But yeah, today's game plan is to throw away every single race in order to upset our team enough that they're going to not want to sign us for next season. So really, effectively, it's actually just Ferrari's number one game plan. But yeah, we are raring to go. We're going to start off with driver Acclaim level 6. And I assume, because of the way it's worked in previous games, we'll try and drive that down to level 1 or level 0. And as you can clearly tell, we are the man for the job. We look ready, we look questionable, we look like we shouldn't be anywhere near a school or playground. And therefore, we are ready to get fired. Ferrari think they've maybe signed their next big talent. This could be the year where they finally win a championship. All the preparation in the winter break, the hard work, the sweat that has gone into this car, and we are going to throw it all away into turn 1 as we smash into Lewis Hamilton with quite a spectacular crash, I must say, actually, to kick things off. And you're going to be seeing this cutscene a lot here as it pops up. Fire me, but it's like it's like I'm giving a hint, guys, at what I'm trying to do here in this sport. Fire me, please. Lower third. The Acclaim beautifully already down to level 5, so we've already done wonders of knocking down one entire Acclaim level. And that's essentially the pattern that we're going to take for the rest of the season. It's hard to be this consistently bad, over the course of the season, but in real life, Ferrari have actually shown us that it is possible, and so I take a lot of, inspiration from them in real life to go forth in this career mode and keep on crashing and ruining our races. We're down to level 4 Acclaim. After Jeddah, we then get into Spain, where I take out my own teammate, the Cardinal Sin, and that gets us down to level 3. I don't know if we can get to level 0. I don't know if that's actually possible, but we'll try and get as low as we can. Monaco comes and goes. That was a difficult one. This British Grand Prix, again, we make contact with Leclerc and give the fans at Village a rather big spectacle. Austria, the Red Bull Ring, definitely not upsetting the Red Bull cars. Leclerc didn't see anything coming at Spa, and lo and behold, by this point in the season, we're down to the last third of level 1. Now, the Italian Grand Prix, the homeland in front of Tifosi, big crash in the wet, and we actually went up in Acclaim. This is so Ferrari, by the way. How's the game, how has the team, how has anything calculated that I've so far, by the way, had all DNFs up to the Italian Grand Prix, and at the Italian Grand Prix, for my very Italian team, in red for Ferrari, I've crashed out of that in the wet. I think I took out my teammate or hit him on the way, and I've gained Acclaim. This game it just constantly surprises me. We continue to plow on into our endeavour of trying to get fired from this team by the end of the season. I'm surprised we didn't get fired halfway through the year, to be honest, but we go into Sao Paulo, and our Acclaim, actually, as you saw there, went up from qualifying. It went for it because apparently going from last place in quali, not qualifying at all, to DNFing is a positive for Ferrari. And then into the last race, Abu Dhabi, we take out a customer team, and we've completed it. We've done all DNFs the entire season. Fire Me Please is hopefully going to get fired at the end of this year. Max Verstappen and Red Bull have won the World Championship. Kudos to them. Obviously, we didn't put up much of a fight. Neither did Leclerc, to be honest, because I took him out quite a few times. So I don't think it was a close effort. So all of this And our Acclaim still goes up a little bit following qualifying into the Abu Dhabi race. So, you know, yeah, Binotto, I don't know how much wine you've been drinking there back at the factory, but it seems pretty good. It seemed whatever you're drinking or smoking, I don't know, you know, if you're partial to that. I don't know, whatever's happening back at Maranello. But they're not minding it. But now the time has come. It is time for the contract renewal. And we've got actually a bit of a different screen here compared to F1 2021. You never used to see the different kind of HQ facilities there display this. That's quite a difference and improvement from last year's game, I guess. But the approach is declined. So we haven't technically, well, we've not been fired. We've just been denied a renewal of our contract. So again, a year on, they've watered down the contract system even further in career mode, in the driver career, and you know, obviously my team, you don't really have the same kind of vibe. But yeah, so I actually then, I basically became a beggar, and beggars can't be choosers. So I went to every single team to ask them if they would sign me. Unsurprisingly, after a whole season of DNFs, everyone was declining my offer. So even though Ferrari were technically happy and fine with me in the season, secretly they were ready to stab me in the back by not offering me a new contract, and they told me to go elsewhere, and elsewhere wasn't having me. Everyone was declining me apart from one team, the only team lower than us in the kind of performance standings is Williams. So we are able to sign for Williams. So we have, well, essentially you can say fired, but like I said, they seem to have kind of annoyingly watered down the contract system. I want to even point out, you know, we don't have any of those cutscenes from previous F1 games. And even now, I want to point out, when I signed for Williams, I did get an audio little, you know, snippet come up to say, oh, great, you know, you've signed for a new team. I noticed that they didn't even have Claire or Emma or whoever the hell it was called, the girl's face, the kind of profile picture. They didn't have her picture next to her. So I don't know what's going on. It looks like they essentially just lost the license for that face actor's face, and they didn't want to bother to pay her for another year of licensing her face. So they just got rid of it. So yeah, I don't know. It's a little bit lazy for me, in my opinion. I mean, removing the cutscene is one thing, but just to have a faceless agent saying, oh great, you've been fired from one team, you can sign for another, just yeah, threw me off a little bit. It was a bit of a chuckle. And so yeah, but the show must go on then. We're going to continue to try and get fired then from our brand new team, and we're taking it to new heights. We're DNFing off the 5 red lights. We're not even getting to turn 1 now, so we're literally finding new levels within ourselves of being so bad, of throwing the race so badly away. And, you know, there's levels to this game, okay? It's not this easy to be this bad and throw away every single race, get disqualified, drive-throughs, you know, off the 5 red lights, still taking out Leclerc, even if we're not even in the team anymore. But because we're Williams, a lower team in the game's eyes, my Acclaim still stayed at like level 3 and wasn't really going too much lower than that. So it kind of got me kind of concerned, am I even going to get declined then by Williams at this rate? Because but the game mechanics essentially are saying this team is so low enough that even DNFing out of every race, no points, maybe that's not going to be good enough. But Fire Me Please is a determined driver. He is determined to do the one thing his parents named him to do and get fired from every job. He got fired at Tesco before he became an F2 driver, and then somehow got fired from F2 probably and still made it into Formula 1, we think. So Verstappen wins another championship, and we get to the end of another season. We come to another contract renewal, and I was, you know, curious. Are we going to be able to re-sign for Williams? You know, because, you know, Acclaim level 3, or 2 now, on the top right there, just about there. So Acclaim 2, it's not as bad as Acclaim 1, though. So maybe level 2 is good enough. But first of all, I wanted to see if we could cheekily sign back for Ferrari. Because in previous F1 games, you guys know when we've done this experiment, this wacky video, we have been able to sign back for Ferrari. But no, and even Williams did not want us So the question is, where do we go from here? It's simple. We go back down to F2. Now, fire me please here is going to be a bit of trouble, of course, because there is nowhere else to go if you get fired from Formula 2. There's no Formula 3 in the game. It's just the job centre, it would seem. But one funny thing I wanted to actually note is, in the F2 career, at the end of the season, Drogovic won the F2 season. The season's over here. As you can see, this is Abu Dhabi, so he skipped over from Bahrain at the start of the F2 career that you can play, and we skipped to the end. DNFing, by the way, in every single F2 race we had. And then I was met with this screen. Automatic promotion. You can select any F1 team you want to sign with. You can get a better contract, I think, by the academy you've chosen, but you can actually sign with any F1 team. So on F1 22, they've actually made the progression system from F2 back to F1, or up to F1, worse than it was on last year's game, because you can actually sign for any team. There's no more kind of seeing how you did, because I DNF'd in every single F2 race, and so no F2 driver would then therefore get a seat, unless they had a lot of money, I guess. But I signed back for Ferrari, so in the end of it, Ferrari are just as dumb as they have been in previous games, because they took me back with open up. We're back, lads. The boys have been reunited.
Are you okay? That was a nasty hit. Turn the engine off and wait for the marshals.